it is official. Kia are ahead of the curve. This is the EV9. Forget car. This is carton. Did Boxy ever look this good? I don't think so. This is like a Land Rover from the future. Welcome to the garage. Subscribe to see the first drives of New Zealand's newest and best cars driven on New Zealand roads and New Zealand conditions. A Kia has never looked this confident. Just take it in. And it's not just the styling either. This thing's huge. It's over 5 meters long, 1.70 meters tall. And then there's all the tech and spec. And of course, the big thing, the really big thing, this is an EV. This doesn't just look like the future. It is the future. With 21-inch wheels, there's a bit of pimped out flavor to this and just a touch of bling. Now, I mentioned the measurements. Here's another one, 3 meters of wheelbase. That's handy for fitting a 99 kilowatt hour battery. That will give you over 500 k's of range. It's also handy for passengers with 7 seats on board. I want to get in and drive, but let's talk about some practical bits and pieces. It is an SUV after all, and it does have ground clearance. It will go off-road. It will also store lots of gear. 312 litres with the seats up, which is pretty good for a 7-seater. Fold those back 5 down, over 2,300 litres of storage. And if you think that's a lot, remember this is an EV, but it will still tow 2.5 tonne. And there's a whole lot of towing assist gear as well. Speaking of the EV thing, obviously you plug it in to charge it. 800 volt system. This will charge from 10 to 80% in 26 minutes. Better than that, we'll also send power back out. You can boil your kettle, run your house, do whatever with the battery in this machine. Some of them will even send power back to the grid. Anyway, that's starting to hurt my head. Let's go for a drive. Well, I've come straight to the Norwestern motorway, and yes, I'm experiencing that level 3 autonomy. I'll touch on that in a wee bit. I'll keep my hands nice and close to the wheel because it's not sort of a thing in New Zealand yet, is it? But this car is sensational. It's watching all around me. But the bit that stands out, I talked about the sort of arresting styling, and yes, that sort of gets your attention, but it's the way this car rides. We're doing 100 k's right now. You can hear how quiet it is. And the ride's obviously helped by the fact that you've got 500 odd kilos of battery underneath the floor. The low center of gravity sort of irons everything out. And I talked about the dimensions of this car. It is a big car. And by rights, it should feel cumbersome, especially when it's so compliant. But that's the thing, it's not. You would almost use the word agile. This car surprises straight away. This really is a whole new feel for a big SUV. A car like this shouldn't drive like this. As you might expect, the EV9 is loaded with tech and gadgets inside, and well, you'd be right. Look at the screens. Actually, there are 3 screens there, a 12.3, a 5-inch, and another 12.3-inch display. And there's also heads up in this GT line, along with the digital door mirrors. You know I love my tech in a car, and this car is an absolute tech delight. It's tech heaven. Everything you look at, everything you touch. But one thing that's just not winning me over, and that's the electronic door mirrors. I've never loved them in a car, and I don't get them. You've still got to have a camera mounted outside, so you've still got something out there in the wind. And I just miss the old natural depth perception. I know they give me a better view. I know technically they could be better. They just don't win me over. And the interior is impressive. Impressive looking, feeling, and feeling good. This is an upcycled vegan delight. The floors use recovered fishing nets. The trim and fabrics are made from things like eucalyptus leaves, recycled plastic bottles, and wool. Like I said earlier, the EV9 is an exclamation mark on wheels. Actually make that a giant green exclamation mark. And it's not just green, it's also safe. I've counted 37 different safety systems are at work. For goodness sake, there's 15 different sensors right now protecting me on guard in every direction, including LiDAR. That's like a laser-powered radar system. It's literally a 360-degree force field. It makes the EV9 Level 3 autonomous, which means it can perform dynamic driving without human intervention. And when you do take the wheel, it can keep you under the speed limit, including average speed limit areas. Handy. Because this is the GT line, it has dual motors. That's 282 kilowatts, which means it absolutely gets up and goes 5.3 seconds in a 7-seat SUV. Look, there's no question about quality, and well, that leads to the $135,000 elephant in the room. This car is running with some serious company. The Audi Q7 starts at $140,000, the Land Rover Discovery at $145,000. Now, they are seriously premium 7-seat SUVs. But that's the thing, the EV9 is a seriously premium 7-seat SUV. And then there's the whole EV thing, which when you factor that in, puts the EV9 in a class of its own. Look, obviously it's the styling that's going to turn heads and win people's hearts. It may polarize, but you know what? This is the most Kia yet. And what's really cool is with so many EV SUVs follow that sort of Tesla jelly mold, well, this car's angle is the angles. And I, for one, absolutely love it. It's actually an extraordinary car.